Hey guys, welcome back to another GT4 custom race using the Sophy AI in Gran Turismo 7. This race took place at Interlagos and was, I believe, 32 laps long, and the racing was super close. We'll go ahead and get into the highlights here in a second, but first I want to go over the settings that I used, and maybe you can use those settings for some of your future races. Alright, here we have the race settings screen for Sophy Custom Race. 32 laps is what I ran, 20 cars, and we are going to be starting 15th. The rolling start interval was 20 meters. Boost has to be on weak. This is a key thing. This is how you get close racing. Slipstream is on disabled. This is a new feature for custom racing. Tire wear on 3 times. This is to force them to make a pit stop for tire wear, light damage, and fuel consumption on 1 so that fuel is not a factor in the race because this messes them up sometimes. Grip reduction on real, obviously weather can be set to whatever you prefer. And we are on professional level. Now we're going to go into the car list here. Now this first car is the Rabbit car. This is the car that is faster than the entire field, and this is what eliminates completely the rubber banding effect in custom races. If you have a car that is always in front, so even if you get into technically the lead, which is second place, you will not have the rubber banding effect. Here we are starting, it says 15th, but actually it's 14th because we're ignoring the Rabbit car. And we're going to go ahead and apply that. And then everything is off down here as far as assists and everything, except for flag rules. I leave those on. All right, here we go at the race start. Again, we're starting 14th. And we'll just put it on hood view here. I'll have the race information up on screen here shortly. Went a little wide in this first corner because the tires are cold, so just trying to get them up to temp, and then we can start attacking the cars in front. Now later that lap, we got a nose under the Supra here, but this wasn't going to work either way, so just tucked back inside. And then we are going to advance here to the next corner. Now the Supra here got a run on the Hyundai, so I was going to try and follow through. Now, the way my car was set, because it's technically a road car, it has less downforce than the race cars. And I had the downforce cranked all the way up for the AI cars, so I have a little bit of advantage towards the end of the straightaways with a higher top speed because I have less drag on the car. And then here we are later on lap 2. Now this is one of the things where you see how wide they go in this corner. That's one of the things that I hope they correct for Sophy in the future. But also getting a nose here under the Supra, and which is a little squirrely at the moment, and not making that work. Now on lap 3, the Supra here is going to get under the McLaren and make that pass. And I went shooting in there and had to let off a little bit because if I didn't, I would have sideswiped him. But moving up into now 12th place. And then lap 4 here, one of the Porsches ahead has gotten swamped by a whole group of cars. I tried to get in there, but it was a little hard. Stayed on the outside though, and we're actually going to drag race down this little straightaway. But on the short straightaways, it's good because the downforce doesn't have a full effect. So, you know, it was more side-by-side racing and less advantage for me. But outbraked him going into the corner, and we're going to take that spot. Now here on lap 4, the Supra tried to get underneath the NSX there and kind of screwed up a little bit, so I had to swerve to avoid hitting them. So we're getting under him here, and he actually turned into us a little bit, but managed to pick up that spot. Now here we are on lap 5. This NSX right here would prove to be a hard one to get by. It took me several laps, and you'll see that here coming up, for me to try and get by him. I mean, we were pretty, power-wise, we're pretty equal, you can see. And with the downforce, or with the slipstream turned off, it makes the racing much closer. But staying on the inside here, and a little bit of contact. But you're not going to want to be on the outside for this corner, so I just tucked back in. I thought maybe I could get a run on the inside, but just couldn't make it work. And so we'll shoot for the outside here, but I couldn't get the grip down. You can see the car wiggle a little bit, and tucked back in there. Now the one NSX making a move on the other NSX, and I was able to take advantage of that and move up another spot. We're now in 9th position. And then lap 8 here, coming to the start of lap 9. The NSX is going to try and make a move on the outside of the Mercedes here, and then of course I had a run. So I went for the inside. We're going to split them here going into turn 1. But the NSX had the better brakes, and I mean, he almost couldn't get it stopped, but managed to make the corner just fine. Ran a little wide there, but I had to tuck back inside. And then here we are, lap 10. Like I said, this one would prove to be hard to get around. Taking a look on the inside here. A little bit of a contact there, but tucking back inside. And then here we are, lap 11, same corner. Gonna take another look, and we're just a little too far back. There's no way we're gonna outbrake him. A little bit better corner speed, a little more contact, nothing crazy. Here we are, lap 13. Starting lap 14, gonna try into turn 1. Couldn't outbrake him, and we're gonna have to tuck back inside. Now, this one, I think for the whole race, this was the best battle that I had for the entire race, because, I mean, we're, what, 5 laps behind him and still not getting around. And here we are coming to lap 15 and getting inside, but again, he outbrakes me. Barely, because he misses the apex of the corner. And I have a little bit better corner speed, but unable to make a move. And then here we are, lap 15, coming up to this hard right here, and sometimes you can get a move on him there, but that just wasn't going to happen. So now lap 16, he a little bit wide on that corner there, but he actually left me a little bit of space right here, so I decided to just stick the nose in. And we're going to drag race down the straight here. And then, assuming I can outbrake him for this corner, we're going to go ahead and take this spot. And there we go. Now, that took me, let's call it 6 laps maybe, to get around that one car. And then we caught up to the McLaren in front of him, and this one's going to be fairly easy. Same corner, just getting alongside him, and then outbrake him a little bit. A little bit better corner speed, and up into 6th position. Next car, the Aston Martin. Gonna take a look here in turn 1. Stick the nose in there. Got him a little wide. I left him some room on the inside, and he still kind of backed out of it a little bit and let us go. So we are now up to 4th position. And then we caught up to 3rd and 4th here. The Ferrari was struggling to get around the Lamborghini, and this was a pretty close battle here for a little bit. But we're on lap 19 now of 32. And I don't have the car stuff down up on the bottom of the screen there, but I decided to dive for pit road because the tires were getting a little worn. So here we go for a fresh set of tires. Again, no fuel. And we're going to come out in 14th position, just behind the Mustang that had already pit and ahead of the Aston Martin, which had also pit. Now, I noticed something as we're catching up to the Mustang here, that the AI cars that stayed out longer actually got taken advantage of because what they call the undercut is in effect here. AI cars that pit sooner have fresher tires and can run faster laps and will overtake the cars that stay out longer. Here's a prime example. The Mustang was in second place before they pit. Now, the Lamborghini's coming off of pit road now because the Mustang pit earlier, he had fresher tires, was able to run faster laps, and he overtook the Lamborghini and took the lead as the Lamborghini was coming off pit road. So now that puts us in third place here, and we're going to try and get around Lamborghini. The Lamborghini and the Ferrari that were ahead of me when I pit, they stayed out the longest, and that cost them because, as you can see on the totem pole on the left, the Lamborghini that was in third is now in 8th position. Make that 7th position. Remember, we are ignoring the rabbit car. So making a little look here on the Lamborghini. Couldn't make it stick. But we're going to try and get a little run on him here down this little straightaway. And try to outbrake him. Took a look. Can't make it work. Right on his butt. Got a little bit of run here on the left side, but of course this is the outside for the long right-hander, and that's just not going to happen, so we're going to have to tuck back behind. A little bit of a run, but couldn't make it stick. Some good racing here. We kind of lap 28 into turn 1. Going to take a look. Still can't make it stick. Nice close racing. And then going down into the next corner here at the end of this little straightaway, we're going to try to outbrake him. And actually made it stick that time, so up into 2nd position. Now it took us a couple laps to chase down the Mustang here and get into a spot where we can try to take the lead. Now, again, this Mustang, I think, was one of, if not the first car to pit. So it helped him take the lead with the undercut. However, towards the end of the race here, the last few laps, I think it was struggling on tires a little bit because it was braking earlier and running a little wide in the corners. But the Mustang has good top end, so good acceleration down the straightaway. So you'll see here in a second, like as we start to go down the straightaway, he just pulls away. But lap 31 here. Went for a dive on the inside, and he stuck through on the outside there and was able to keep the lead. Now keep that in mind for the next attempt when I try to take the lead in the same spot, because something different is going to happen. But with us battling it out, the Lamborghini was behind us there, so I had to keep an eye on my mirror just to make sure that he wasn't going to try and make a move. Again, Mustang's struggling for grip because his tires are getting worn towards the end of the race. But he's got the straightaway speed, so he pulls away down the straightaway. And then here is the last lap. So we're going to do the full last lap in its entirety to show you basically what went on. And again, Mustang speed down the straightaway. It's kind of hard for me to stick up, and you know, it's nice that you have the slipstream turned off, because that would have helped me a little bit, and I want more of a closer race. So here we are taking a look on the inside. Of course, this is going to be the outside for the long right-hander, which again is not going to work very well, so we're just going to tuck back behind. Now I'm going to go for the dive again here on this tight right-hander because he is braking a little early. So I went for it here. Now, instead of staying on the outside like he did last time, he gave up. He kind of swerved to the left a little bit because he thought there was going to be contact, and I was able to get through. Now, this is one of the things that I hope they fix with Sophy, because if you make a move like that, even though you're not going to make contact, if you dive in like that and they think there's going to be contact, they'll swerve and try to avoid it, and it will basically give you the position. You can just take it without much of a fight. It's unfortunate because if he had stuck around the outside like he did on the previous lap, I probably would not have won this race. But it took us basically all 32 laps to get to the lead, and we were able to take the win right there on the last lap. So this was probably one of the best races that I've had. I know I keep saying that in all my previous videos, but it just keeps getting better and better. So thanks for sticking around and checking out this highlight reel. And if you got any questions, just post comments in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.